Okay, so I haven't done these in a hot second. I think it's been about 7 or 8 months since my last post. Have recorded a lot of videos since then. Have not posted any of them. Probably won't. It's amazing how drastically your life can change in less than a year. But here we are, and starting to get back into art again, and starting to practice for the game that my brother and I are making. I've been practicing environments. I tried really hard to practice more faces like I posted in the other one, but I realized in the interest of what I'm attempting to do over the next couple of years will be primarily this game, I figured I should practice on environments instead of side projects. While I could do both, I have very limited time, and so decided to focus on this instead. So what we have is basically I found this setting. I found a church, this old church in a city in Maine that is just beautifully creepy. Obviously, it's whole and complete, so it doesn't look creepy in its setting, but taken out of that setting and adding a couple of details to it really just amps up the creep factor. And so while I'm drawing this, I'm looking at that as a reference. So you'll see me change colors and details occasionally as I'm looking up and seeing and changing things around. And one thing I like so much about pixel art is you kind of get these very teeny tiny changes. You'll see that roof change that I did, just a couple of pixels changed, and it looked so much better. It looked like an actual archway over the doors instead of just this weird multicolored panel on top of the door. And so you'll see me adding some details here, some creepy drapes. The drapes in the inspiration pick are complete and not torn at the ends, but I like that factor so much. And just adding a couple cracks in at the corners. These windows were intensely difficult. I winged it and did not count the pixels as I was making this, so some of these are a little bit narrower, some of them are a little bit wider. So not perfect, but again, this is a practice. And I played around a lot with the light or the reflection effect on the windows. It's still not where I want it to be. Oh, and I had to make it red so that I could paint in this this roof bit. But for the window reflection, I still don't have it quite right. I need to look up some techniques on that to get that looking a little bit more realistic. And I'm playing around with some shading there. And the perspective on this tripped me out a little bit at the beginning, but I think I got the roof perspective the way I wanted it. It's makes it seem like it's not a very long building going back, so I might play with the roof part a little bit to make it seem like it's a little bit longer of a building, like a traditional church would be. Fit all those pews and such. So I played a little bit with the shading under the eaves of the roof. I start to play with adding some details. Yeah, adding a hole. Didn't like how those looked. Removed them. Try it again. And I think, oh yeah, I tried to add a bloody handprint. Had to look up an inspiration pic for that as well. It turned out okay. Kind of just add the additional angst, creep factor, and then I started to play around with the blurred lines at the top of the roof, and that's where we ended. So it's not perfect by any means. This is first to go around. I do definitely want a creepy church in our game. The city that we're pulling inspiration from has a whole and complete church. But just making it slightly run down in a teeny tiny town just makes it that much creepier for when we do hit the horror aspects of the game. I think I explained the premise a little bit, but it's basically going to be a game that starts out as almost a farming simulator turned zombie apocalypse is not quite right, but that kind of vibe. So this building, I feel like, kind of encapsulates that. It's mostly whole, but it gives you it raises the hairs on the back of your neck a little bit, like you feel like someone's watching you. So yeah, hopefully that was interesting to watch. I'm going to continue practicing creepy buildings, probably a gas station. There's a really cool covered bridge in the city that we're using as inspiration as well, so that will be incoming soon. Thanks so much for watching.